Barack Obama Democratic. Donald Trump Republican? The 2016 United States presidential election was the 58th quadrennial presidential election, held on Tuesday, November 8, 2016. The Republican ticket of businessman Donald Trump and Indiana Governor Mike Pence defeated the Democratic ticket of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and U.S. Senator from Virginia Tim Kaine. Trump took office as the 45th president, and Pence as the 48th vice president, on January 20, 2017. It was the fifth and most recent presidential election in which the winning candidate lost the popular vote. 2-3. Trump emerged as his party's frontrunner amidst a wide field of Republican primary candidates, defeating Senator Ted Cruz, Senator Marco Rubio, and Ohio Governor John Kasich among other candidates. Clinton defeated Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primary and became the first female presidential nominee of a major American party. Trump's populist nationalist campaign, which promised to make America great again, opposed political correctness, illegal immigration, and many free trade agreements garnered extensive free media coverage due to Trump's inflammatory comments. 5-6. Clinton emphasized her extensive political experience, denounced Trump and many of his supporters as bigots and extremists, and advocated the expansion of President Obama's policies, racial, LGBT, and women's rights, and inclusive capitalism. 7. The tone of the general election campaign was widely characterized as divisive and negative. 8-9-10. Trump faced controversy over his views on race and immigration, incidents of violence against protesters at his rallies, 11-12-13, and numerous sexual misconduct allegations, including the Access Hollywood tape. Clinton's popularity and public image was damaged by concerns about her ethics and trustworthiness, 14, and an FBI investigation of her improper use of a private email server, which received more media coverage than any other topic during the campaign. 15-16. Clinton led in nearly every pre-election nationwide poll and in most swing state polls, leading some comparisons of Trump's victory to that of Harry S. Truman in 1948 as one of the greatest political upsets in modern U.S. history. 17-18, while Clinton received 2.87 million more votes than Trump did, 19, Trump received the majority in the Electoral College and won upset victories in the pivotal Rust Belt region. Ultimately, Trump received 304 electoral votes and Clinton 227, as 2 faithless electors defected from Trump and 5 defected from Clinton. Trump is the first president with neither prior public service nor military experience, and the oldest person to be inaugurated for a first presidential term. The U.S. government's intelligence agencies concluded on January 6, 2017, that the Russian government had interfered in the 2016 elections 2021, in order to undermine public faith in the U.S. democratic process, denigrate Secretary Clinton, and harm her electability and potential presidency. 22. A special counsel investigation of alleged collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign began in May 2017, 23-24, and ended in March 2019. The investigation concluded that Russian interference to favor Trump's candidacy occurred in sweeping and systematic fashion, but did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government. 25-26. Article 2 of the United States Constitution provides that the President and Vice President of the United States must be natural-born citizens of the United States, at least 35 years old, and residents of the United States for a period of at least 14 years. 27. Candidates for the presidency typically seek the nomination of one of the political parties, in which case each party devises a method, such as a primary election, to choose the candidate the party deems best suited to run for the position. Traditionally, the primary elections are indirect elections where voters cast ballots for a slate of party delegates pledged to a particular candidate. The party's delegates then officially nominate a candidate to run on the party's behalf. The general election in November is also an indirect election, where voters cast ballots for a slate of members of the Electoral College. These electors in turn directly elect the President and Vice President. 28. President Barack Obama, a Democrat and former U.S. Senator from Illinois, was ineligible to seek re-election to a third term due to the restrictions of the 22nd Amendment. In accordance with Section 1 of the 20th Amendment, his term expired at noon Eastern Standard Time on January 20, 2017. 29-30. Both the Democratic and Republican parties, as well as third parties such as the Green and Libertarian parties, held a series of presidential primary elections and caucuses that took place between February and June 2016, staggered among the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. This nominating process was also an indirect election, where voters cast ballots for a slate of delegates to a political party's nominating convention, who in turn elected their party's presidential nominee. Speculation about the 2016 campaign began almost immediately following the 2012 campaign, with New York Magazine declaring that the race had begun in an article published on November 8, 2 days after the 2012 election. 31. On the same day, Politico released an article predicting that the 2016 general election would be between Clinton and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, while an article in the New York Times named New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey as potential candidates. 32-33